right, as promised, we're going to learn another tool. And this is not a tool, so this is not a button. This is actually something you have to access through the menus. And this works in both Photoshop and Photopea. So as promised, we're going to handle this tree, this complicated selection of a tree. So I'm going to, and you should too, if you still have your doggies, we can move on with this one. But otherwise, open up your tree and let's duplicate this background layer so that I have two tree layers. Okay, I'm actually going to turn my puppies off for now and turn my background layer off for now so that I just have my tree. All right, so we talked before about how we could take our object selection and right click and do the magic cut here. And we saw before it actually did pretty good. It's going to leave some of the blue though. So how could we better select this one? And the answer to that question is going to be by using the select menu and an option called color range. Color range. And the good thing about skies is most of the sky color range is going to be blues and pale blues and whites, that kind of color. And between greens, that's a very defined color. So if you have a picture of someone with wispy hair or curly hair, because curly haired people have lots of wisps everywhere, and you take that picture on a solid background, you can make it a lot easier to select if you have a simple background that's a different color than their hair. That's why people use green screens, right? So I'm going to click select and then color range. And then you're going to see this little box come up. And you're going to click your mouse in the blue area. So like, now I could go in here between the leaves and choose like that blue right there that's between the leaves. But anyway, so what it's doing is we're selecting the sky. And I can turn this fuzziness up and notice that it eventually changes how much it selects. So now it's like getting more and more and more and more of that sky. Okay. Now I'm going to turn that up pretty high here. Now there is a mode. It says replace, and then you've got a plus and a minus. So you can go through and add in to here. So with a plus or a minus, I could click on other shades to add them in. But because I've got this fuzziness turned up quite a bit, I'm going to go ahead and leave it. I'm going to hit OK. Now right now, remember, we selected the sky. So we need to flip it so that we're selecting the tree itself. So I'm going to right click in here and we're going to select the inverse. So now it's got a hold of all of the blue areas. Well, actually, now it's got a hold of the tree so I can add a layer mask. Okay, so now I'm going to click my layer mask button, or I could go to my quick mask mode to preview it. Gosh, look how much better that is. That makes it look like I spent so long with my lasso going in between every one of those leaves. Like, aren't you proud of me? Because I'm kind of proud of myself. Okay, I'm gonna get out of quick mask mode and just add my layer mask in. Bam, there we go. That looks pretty good. Let me place that sunrise image I talked about before. So I'll open and place this sunrise and pop it in here. And of course I'll grab a hold and actually let me zoom out a little bit since I don't have my navigator open, and I'll size this puppy out. Puppy, but not. Okay, I'm going to check mark that. Let's move it behind so we can see. There we go. All right, that looks pretty good. And remember, if there were areas that needed some touching up, I'm just like staring at this one area here that's really making me mad. All we have to do is paint that out on the mask, right? So here's this mask, black to hide, right? So make sure I've got black on top. Take my paintbrush. I want a little bitty paintbrush here on this one. And I can just, oh, that's the sun. That's the sun. Look at me. So it's actually not. I was like, I know I have a good selection. I was going to be sad here. Let's move this around. See what I mean? See, it's the sun. That's what it is. Oh, scoot the sun over here so the sun doesn't make me so mad. Okay, there we go. All right, great. So there it is, and that's in Photopea. So that worked out pretty well. You can, you have those like apps and stuff that let you replace the sky, like Snapchat filter or whatever. It's basically what we're doing there. It's a color range replacer. All right, let's pop into Photoshop and do the same thing. Here is that awful one that we did before, or that I had in the previous session. I'm going to delete this layer mask so we can start this over again. So same thing, select, color range. And I'm going to click in the blue area, and you can see here, we can see what it's like. I already have my fuzziness turned up. So we're going to turn that up. We're trying to select as much of the sky as possible. Notice the higher I get it, the more I'm going to start getting in between those leaves. But if I get too far in between the leaves, I might lose the leaves. So you have to kind of find the balance. Now the cool thing on Photoshop is, see, I was able to hit this invert button. in Photoshop. We don't have that in Photopea, so I had to flip the inverse after I got out there. And it's not a big deal because, like, if you forget, you just flip the inverse when you get out of there, right? Not a big deal. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK. And then again, I'll pop into my quick mask mode with Q. Yeah, see, that's still looking awesome. I'm gonna get out of quick mask mode and add that layer mask. And bam, select color range for the win. So you have to have the right kind of image for this, right? This is not going to work with every single image. You need an image that has little places that are knocked out, but that's on a background that's easy to grab a hold of. And yeah, I could have like zoomed in here and like minused out with a magic wand every single one of those teeny tiny spots, or like minus lassoed all of those out, but that would have taken forever. And remember, to be a good Photoshop person, we need to be efficient. So that means we need to do it fast and accurately. So we don't want to take forever painting stuff out and minus lassoing stuff out when we've got tools that we can use. So again, as final recap here, the select menu is where we're going to go, and then color range is going to be your option. And then just adjust that fuzziness slider that determines how much it's going to select. And if you really want to get in there, you kind of have to turn that fuzziness up a bit because that's just how that tends to work. All right, well, I hope you like that tool. Have fun trying that out. Maybe go save some pictures that you think would be difficult and see if this selection tool works for you. You know, if I had a picture of a dog on like in the grass and there was green everywhere around the dog, that might be a better tool. I don't know. You just kind of have to decide. And sometimes you need to crop the picture and then copy and paste it in instead of placing the whole picture in there as well, so that you can crop it down to where it's just that color around the object, just those two things, and not like a whole entire picture, right? All right, good luck playing with select color range.